Coming to you from the Hill Country in the beautiful state of Texas. We are not licensed professionals. We are not therapists. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you are struggling with addiction or any other mental conditions, please seek professional help. Please be advised, some topics may not be appropriate for young or sensitive audiences.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Politically Incorrect. Tonight we're going to be discussing something that I believe a lot of people, especially young ladies, can relate to. We're going to be talking about different levels of abuse, trauma, childhood trauma related to abuse. Different forms of abuse we're going to be discussing this evening is physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, and emotional abuse. One of us here this evening is going to kind of start us out. We hope that our audience gets something from this evening. Just know that you're not alone. Your feelings are validated. And unfortunately, this is something that happens in a lot of homes in our country.
I like to start with talking about some experiences that happened to me as a child. First of all, I'd like to say that the reason why I am speaking about this is I like to raise awareness of sexual abuse that does happen in a lot of homes to children. Also about that abuse happening at home with somebody that you trust and think that would take care of you and would not harm you. I just want to go ahead and express how important it is if any type of trauma is going on in the home or elsewhere to seek out help, because there's people out there that can help you through these situations. My experiences I want to share is I was sexually abused by my biological father in my home. So this started when I was 11. My mother was in the hospital having my sister, my youngest sister. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. From the time at the age of 11 years old up until I left the home at 15. When you're a little girl, you think that your dad, your father, my father's the one that did this to me, is your protector. You want to make him happy. You're just, you don't understand what's going on. I thought, he would tell me, oh, I love you, and if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to hurt your mom, and I'm going to hurt your sisters. And I was 11 years old. And I had two little sisters. Like I said, I was the oldest. And I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand. I was confused. I was scared. It was very traumatizing as a child. And that trauma has carried over into my adult life.
So you said that this happened for the first time at the age of 11.
11. That's correct.
As much as I don't want you to relive this, can you, the best you can, describe to us like what setting that was in? Like what happened? Did it start with like a hey, come sit on my lap? Or like how did that transpire?
Well, I was real close to my mom, and when she went in the hospital, it traumatized me because she wasn't there. And then he was like, "Oh, come sleep and come lay down with me in bed." And then he just started touching me, and it just progressed from there. But I can remember very vividly the first time that he did that was when my mom was in the hospital having my sister. And then my mom had to go. I remember my grandmother passed away, and we had to take my mom to the airport to go to her funeral to New Jersey to see her, her mother. And I was hysterical. I did not want to be left alone with him, crying. I mean, just because I knew as soon as she was gone, and he would come into my room in the same house with my mom in the other room. Yeah. He got me pregnant, and I had to have an abortion.
How old were you?
12. 12. I need a
Did
minute.
your mom know? So you and I have been friends a really long time,
Mhm.
and I know quite a bit about your history as far as this is concerned, but I never knew that you got pregnant.
By him. Yeah, you got me pregnant.
What happened with that?
Well, he was in the military, so we were stationed in California, and I went to the school counselor and told her. And in the state of California, you can go and they'll take you to a doctor, and they got me an abortion. I was 4 months pregnant at 12 years old, without your parents knowing.
So your parents didn't even know what
He knew.
Okay.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah, he did that to me. I mean, it was so traumatizing for me that I ran away on an airplane from Florida, took my sister with me in the middle of the night, and flew to New Jersey.
How old were you?
13? 13.
How old was your sister?
I'm 3 years older, so 10. My mom didn't know till later when I left at 15. I feel very guilty because I left home at 15 and had 2 younger sisters that I had to leave behind, which I found out later the same abuse happened to them.
Okay. So you left at 15
Mhm.
and went to,
Texas. Came here to Texas.
wait a minute. Sister was 10, you were 13, went to New Jersey.
Yes, just but came back. She made me come back.
So at 15, you do what?
I get on a plane with just clothes on my back and I come here to Texas
By yourself.
by myself.
And you came here to see who?
I came here to live with my aunt to get out of that situation. And they let me, of course they let me come. Went to school, finished high school, tried to get past that, had to go to counseling. So what happened is I did run away several times. Got to Florida, but still continuing to happen. In the middle of the night, got an airplane, got 2 plane tickets, me and my sister, and took us to New Jersey because that's where my mom's family's from.
Okay.
Went to be with my aunt, tried to tell them what was going on. Of course, nobody believed me. My mom put us back on an airplane and made us come back to Florida. So then I was there until he came back because he was in the Navy and he'd go off for 9 months at a time.
Your dad?
My dad. And at that point, I was trying to kill myself. I was anorexic, all that. It was bad. And then they said, I told him if I couldn't leave, I think I told him, if I couldn't leave, I was going to the authorities. I was going to do everything I can. And they put me on an airplane and sent me to Texas.
At what age?
15.
Did you have family here?
Yeah, I had an aunt that lived here. She's no longer alive, but yeah. But then I felt guilty because I left my sisters. I couldn't bring her with me.
So let me break down this time.
Mm-hmm.
You're the oldest of 3 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, you lived in.
When it first started, when the abuse first started, we were in California.
You're
in San Diego.
California, you're a
Mhm.
Navy brat,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
He starts molesting you when your mom goes into the hospital to deliver your youngest sister.
That's correct.
The
We're
abuse-
11 years apart, me and my sister, my little sister.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The abuse starts there. And then at the age of 12, you get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
You seek help from a
Mhm.
school counselor.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get an abortion
Mm-hmm.
without the consent of your parents.
That's correct.
And then at 13, you run away with your middle sister,
Uh-huh.
who's 10 at the time, and you run off to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
You try to tell family
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. No one believes you.
Nobody believes me.
And you get sent back.
To Florida.
So now the family's moved to Florida
Mhm.
from California.
Yeah.
So they send you back to Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and you're with this man again.
Mm-hmm. So the only other option for me is to kill myself. Right? To get myself out of that situation. I'm a child, right?
Right.
So then I become anorexic. Don't want to live anymore, you know. And so at that point, I was, down to like 80-something pounds. And I had the opportunity to get out, but I couldn't take my sisters with me. And that's always a big, heavy thing on me, because I feel like I didn't protect them enough. And then it happened to them. And how it all came out, which is the funny thing, it's not funny, but he tried to molest my sister's friend. And her parents went to the authorities and had him arrested.
So he's just a predator.
And then it came out. And then I had him thrown in jail. And I was here in Texas.
Did he serve any time?
I think he was in and out of jail overnight. I found out about it. I finally had enough. He had brainwashed me so bad that I was terrified. I was terrified he was going to hurt me. He was going to hurt my family if I told anybody. But that little thing that happened gave me enough confidence to go to the police and tell them everything. So at that point, they went and arrested him, threw him in jail. He spent
Because
6 months.
You blew the whistle on what was going on.
He spent 6 months in jail for what he did to me. 6 months and thrown out of the military. 6 months.
And you're what age at this time?
I think maybe I was close to 18 by then. When he went to jail and everything. Yeah. I don't know that he's doing it to my sisters. I wasn't aware of that until I left. But apparently he was also messing with my middle sister. Okay. That came out after I was gone. After her friend went to the police. Her parents did. And then it came out about my middle sister. So then, while he's in jail, it's a whole freaking nightmare. When he's in jail, my mom comes here with my sisters.
What age were you when he was in jail?
18. I was 18.
How often was he molesting you?
From the time I was 11 years old, all the time.
Right, but
He was
for those
molesting
2
me all the
years,
time.
Was it once a day? Was it once a week? Was it once a month? Or is it just a big, confusion? Just
yeah, it's just all
At
the
all,
freaking
period.
time. In the middle of the night, he come in my room. All the time.
your
Mhm.
sisters are back in
Yeah.
Florida without you.
Exactly.
They are being molested, or one is having this trauma happen. This
To the middle
disgrace,
sister.
This disgusting, horrible,
Mm-hmm.
horrible thing.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't know it was going on with the middle sister until the friend came forward and said something. But the middle sister went to New Jersey as well, because see, that's where our family's from. To think that she's gonna get some help, and of course they didn't believe her either, and sent her back. And so finally, when a stranger come out and accused him of something, then they finally, looked into something. Or my mom decided, oh, maybe something is going on.
So is the Jersey family his side?
My mom's side.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. My mom's the baby of 8, though, and so all my relatives, all my mom's brothers and sisters are a lot older than her. But nobody was to leave us. Oh no,
If it was
so and so is a problem. You know, she's lying. Blah 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 blah. She's this, she's that. You know, okay, so really, I mean,
And that's so
Yeah.
many years apart. So you and your youngest were 11 years apart?
mhm,
What about you and the
3.
And you had moved here when you were 15.
Mhm.
So she's also getting molested at 12.
Mhm. Yep.
Do you know if they got pregnant?
I don't. So okay, with the middle sister, she has a lot of female problems. She's never been pregnant that I'm aware of. I'm the only one that has any children out of me and my sisters. I don't know if the sexual abuse made her the way she can't have any children. Now, if she did have any when she did get pregnant, that's something that she didn't share with me.
And you said the youngest was also getting assaulted?
That was not until after my mom went back to my dad after he got out of jail.
So probably around the
So let me
same
tell you the
age.
story, what happened there. So at 18, yeah, it must have been 18 because he was in jail. I was 17, 18, something like that. My mom brought my sisters and moved to Texas because he was in jail. Everything was my fault. How dare I go to the authorities? How dare I tell the police what happened because he lost everything. My dad was I don't even remember. He was an officer in the military. I can't even remember what his rank was. We always lived in base housing and officers housing. He lost everything. See, my mom would have got all that.
For those that don't know, officers are the highest rank in the
Yeah.
military.
So she would have got all his benefits. But he got thrown out of the military, which is dishonorable discharge because of what he did to me, anyways. And so everything was my fault. Everything was my fault. Me and my mom always had a very rocky relationship because I felt like she should have known what was going on. How can your kid be in the next room screaming? Because believe me, I just wasn't sitting there and nobody can hear me. Okay? So we always had a really rocky relationship. I had to find peace within myself to be able to forgive her.
So she'd be home while this is happening.
Yes, she did not work. As far as he goes, he's a piece of shit, and I could, I had to, for myself to be able to get through all this, and everybody handles trauma differently. But for me to be able to handle this and go on with my life, I had to be able to forgive her. Maybe, how do I know she didn't know? I can't, I don't know. And then she's not the one that was really, I guess maybe I think this in my mind just so I can think that I can get through this because otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to. But I feel like, well, did she really, did she really hurt me? I mean, he's the one that physically hurt me. And
So she wasn't the abuser.
Right. So then you're trying, and she's my only mom, so now I'm trying to, I don't know. I know it's really crazy.
Well, in your mind,
And people deal with trauma differently. And, I mean, I feel like I've really dealt with it good in my life. I mean, I've gone on to, gone to college. I have 2 master's degrees. I have, a great job. I have a great family. I have, great kids. I mean, I know, but it's always there. It's always there. It's there when in my marriage. That's why I want to talk about adult trauma, because it never goes away. It's always there, even if it's just hidden under something for a while. You may have a bad day and go, oh my God, wait a minute, I'm not okay right now. Something can trigger it. It's really hard to explain. I just hope that people are aware of things that can happen. Like, you wouldn't think, here you are, and everybody is looking in on the inside going, oh, this is a great family, and they're loving, and, he's in the military, and he's an officer, and mom's at home, and they got, no. You don't understand what's going on behind those doors. I just want people to be aware of their surroundings, and if a child comes up to you and says something's not right, something's going on, please listen to them, and please take the time to help them, because they need that help. Who else are they going to get help from? I couldn't get help from my family. Go to my aunts or anybody and ask them for help. I couldn't help my sisters. I was a child And I feel like it's my fault what happened to them, and it's not. It's taken so many years for me to understand that I did nothing wrong. I did not deserve that. And if I could have helped my sisters and saved them from all that, I would have, and I couldn't. I was a kid.
You were.
But it's taken me a long time to be able to overcome that. It just really sucks, and I just want people to know, if you see something that don't look right, please step in and try and help. Because I didn't help that help. I didn't.
So I just want to make it clear to our listeners. This beautiful woman before us is a freaking smoke show, man. You guys don't even understand. She's beautiful. Beautiful soul, beautiful being inside and out. Right? You know, she's no dummy, right? But I do want our listeners to know that, you know, you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
This has been a struggle for you.
I'm almost 60.
Yeah?
It's been a struggle my whole entire life.
Yeah. How has that affected, so I know you have 2 sons and you have a daughter.
Right.
Do you feel like the trauma that you've been through all those years, the guilt that you carry for things that you had no control over when it comes to your sisters?
Right.
You could not protect them. You were a child.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that trauma stayed with you as far as raising a daughter?
Absolutely.
How did that apply in your life?
Oh yeah, I was terrified. I wouldn't let her go anywhere, spend the night anywhere. Wouldn't let her play out front, outside. There's no way. I wouldn't let her get on the bike and ride down the street with her friends. I was terrified that somebody would, grab her and molest her or hurt her or some type of way. It was even that way with the boys, even with my boys. I mean, there's molesters out there like little boys too, not just little girls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's affected my marriage,
How?
my sexual. I mean, there's certain things that I don't want to do or reminds me of him, and that's affected my marriage. It's something that you have to, try and get past, but some things I just can't. I just can't.
So when did this sorry excuse for a human being finally take its last breath?
October 2015, and he had a massive heart attack, is what I heard.
Did you attend the funeral?
No. Found out on Facebook that he had passed away from a girlfriend. And so I called her. She had no clue about me. He had told her he had no family and no kids. She had 3 little grandbabies that were girls.
Oh my gosh.
So I went ahead and just told her my whole story. And you know what she said to me? She said, well, he never said anything like that. And he doesn't have anything. And I'm like, I'm not looking for anything from him. I said, I just wanted you to be aware of what kind of person he really was. And if you have any little ones, you may want to go ahead and ask them some questions.
Because you know what he's capable of.
Absolutely. Yep.
I'm just astonished at how many people try to protect him and not you.
Yeah.
The child.
Yep.
Little girl.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, then I'm an adult, and he passed away in
The next little
2015.
girl,
But
the next little
right,
girl.
exactly.
But in your childhood.
And my
Nobody believed
childhood.
you.
Oh yeah, no. My own mom didn't believe me.
You turned out so beautiful.
And I have some. I mean, for the longest time, I didn't have a good relationship with her. And then she got cancer, and then everything. Even before that, though, it's like you want a relationship with your parents. That's the only mom I'll ever
You
have.
have one mom and you have
One
one
mom.
dad.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
If you're lucky, you
Yeah.
get bonus parents.
Right. Exactly.
But you thought they were protecting.
So I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
So in
don't
your
know.
heart
I mean,
of
I don't
hearts-
know. I'm a very forgiving person.
Yeah, I know.
And I just didn't know for sure maybe deep within thought, okay, well, maybe she really didn't know. Maybe she really didn't know. Maybe she, she grew up in New Jersey and, came from poor family. She was maybe 8. Here he came in the military from California, got her to, just made her think that she was, living the best life, went out and had steak and things like that she never had before, right? Living her best life. Maybe she didn't know any. I don't know.
And she gave him 3 beautiful
I
daughters.
don't know. And I feel like, when she was, dying, and I think for me to be able to get past everything that happened to me, I had to forgive her.
Of course.
I had to forgive her.
Of course.
Him, no. But her, I had to. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But that's just the way I feel. Like I said, everybody.
So other than the really cry or plead to our viewers, like if somebody comes to you and tells you these things are going on, please listen to them. Other than you expressing that, what would be your advice for somebody that has had this happen to them personally, or children have experienced something like this with a man that they trusted? Okay. And rest assured, women are capable of molestation too.
Right.
Okay. That's not the scenario we're talking about right now, but let's be clear on that. Little boys can be just as traumatized, disrespected, molested, taken advantage of as anyone else. Okay? What would be your advice to somebody who has shared your experience? Of course, we're not licensed professionals. We're not trying to, fix everybody's problem. We're simply trying to relate and have you feel like your voice is important, because it is. So what would be your advice to somebody who's gone through something like you've gone through, who has never let it out, who's never told anyone, who just buries this within themselves?
I would tell them to definitely seek out a counselor to speak about what happened to them.
What about facing an abuser? Did you ever face your abuser?
I would recommend that. I would recommend they speak to a counselor first. You just don't know what's going to happen in that situation. I would never want to put anybody in harm's way, because you don't know what's going to happen. With mine, he always threatened that he was going to hurt me or hurt my family. There's no way I would have went and faced him. Later in life,
Like as an adult?
he did come up to me and apologize, and supposedly said that it happened to him as a child, and that he always just loved me. That was his way of showing me he loved me.
That's sick.
Okay. So there you go. So that's just more trauma on me that I didn't need. The best way for me, how I was able to deal with it, was counseling. There's different types of counseling. Sometimes it takes several counselors to really find the best one for you.
But you never fell into addiction. And folks, if
No,
you listen to our previous
did. No.
episodes, we do talk about addiction as one of our episodes. And this young lady has made it very clear that she's dibbled and dabbled
Right.
and had fun and partied or whatever, but she's never ever had an addiction. So to go through something like this, it's that traumatic, and not mask it to change how you feel with a substance,
I think
it's huge.
I think the reason why I didn't is because I have kids. Okay, if you look at my sisters, they don't have kids, and they face some things, right? Especially my middle sister. My main focus was to make sure my kids are safe. Make sure my babies are safe. And so I need to be alert, and I need to be on my toes, because I'm going to make sure my kids are okay.
I'm going to be the mother that is there.
I'm going to be the mother that wasn't there for me.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing that, not just with us, but sharing it with, mean, it's going online,
Yeah.
so it's going to be shared
Right.
with the world, and it's very brave of you. I commend you. I want to leap up off this chair right now and hug you and smother you with love because it's not okay. It's not okay.
It's not
And if
okay.
you are the kind of person listening to this right now, if you are someone that is guilty of anything that was discussed here this evening, shame on you. Shame on you. And if you are a victim, on the flip side of this, if you are a victim, my heart bleeds for you. You are welcome to contact this woman via email. It is listed
Absolutely.
here in this episode. We are here. We care about each other. We care about others. And if more people did, it would be a much better place. So my heart goes out to you. I love you very much. I'm very sorry that this happened to you, happened to your loved ones. It obviously destroyed what could have been a beautiful family.
Yeah.
And I commend you. I respect the hell out of you for sharing that with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have created your own beautiful family and
Yes.
manifested an entirely different life. As she said before, I'm extremely surprised. Yeah, that you didn't follow a dark path. You didn't
Right.
get addicted to any substances. You weren't selfish about it. As a matter of fact, you still went and got you stayed focused. People cannot stay focused. So again, I commend you also for the
Thank you.
strength that
Yeah.
you've secured in yourself and passed on to your own family, so they can take
Yeah.
that strength and courage with them too. And I definitely want the listeners to learn from this. You are not alone. If you're going through something like this, you are not alone. Just listen. Just listen. There's proof right there. You're such a beautiful person. I've never met anybody who's blossomed from such a horrible experience. And it's amazing to actually have witnessed that and to call you my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you, girl.
Love you too.
All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate you listening in. We will be back next week. And again, for those of you that are dealing with this trauma, that have dealt with these experiences, please seek professional help or confide in someone that you can trust. Politically Incorrect, over and out.